Welcome back to another episode of The Real Deal, where we come at you with some straight truth. Truth that other media outlets aren't, well, let's just say they're allowed to say it, but they won't because they don't want you thinking for yourselves. They want you to think like they do. So we open up your mind here to reality and the truth. And sometimes the truth is pretty harsh, but it's the truth. We have to deal with that. So today we're going to focus on what in many ways I feel is one of the biggest ways for governments and societies to divide people in this world. And that is by religion. There are many religions in this world. Legitimately, there are over 4,000 recognized religions. The Christians are number one, Muslims are number two. And they're all over the world. There are 57 Muslim countries, and Christians are not allowed in several of those countries. Definitely Jews are not allowed in probably all 57 of those countries. If I were to go through and give you the statistics on the population of Jewish people that live in those countries, it's going to be 2 or 3 in a country. It's just disgusting. It's deplorable. And that's what they want. They want everybody to be divided and hate one another. And I don't know why people are so divided on the religion, because I believe in my faith. And if you think different than me, cool. Okay, good for you. If that makes you happy, if that makes you at peace and you're not hurting anybody, you're not hurting yourself, you're not preaching lies and hatred or anything like that, then I don't see what the problem is. You respect me, I'll respect you. I have religions that come to the door, or I'll see them on the street, and they'll come up and talk to me, and I'm like, well, I'll tell them what I am, and I was like, but I respect what you do, and bless you. I don't want anything to happen to you. I hope nobody slams the door in your face. And we get a lot of that. And we get a lot of people that go back and forth and hurt each other, and it's not fair, and it's not right, people. Just because someone doesn't believe the way you do doesn't mean that they're a bad person, and it doesn't make them wrong. Let me ask you something right here. Why do you feel your religion is the only religion and faith there is? I see people all the time that'll say, well, you're going to hell because you don't believe this. I'm like, okay, if I was looking for a religion right now and you told me that, yours would not be the one I would grasp onto because of the way you're treating others. And in many cases, they feel theirs is the only way and they have no respect for others. And if you have a different kind of religion, like the Latter-day Saints, they get very persecuted. People call them a cult. And I asked them, why are they a cult? Well, they've only been around this long. And I'm like, okay, well, Islam's only been around for, 1900 years? You know, Christianity's only been around for a little over 2,000 years. What's to say your religion is right and theirs is wrong? Who's to say they're not worshiping the wrong God or the false idol or worshiping what you call a cult? Did you know in America that cults are legal? Because it's in the Constitution, religious rights. And if they call it a cult, well, so be it. I look at it this way. If somebody starts what you call a cult and they're worshiping a so-called false idol, and that's usually what a cult is a group of people worshiping something that's what they consider false. But who's to say? And if these people go there every week and they're praying and they talk and they're doing good deeds and stuff, okay, I might not agree with them. I might not believe the way they do, but they have the right to be that way. They have the right to exist and believe what they want. Look at the Christian religion. You got Christianity, and then you got all the little sects underneath there, all the little different faiths, the Protestants, the Catholic, the Presbyterians. I mean, there's hundreds of them. Where do you draw the line? And what they do is they fight each other. They say, well, you're not a Catholic, this, that, and the other. You don't believe in this and that. And then the Christians will come back and say, well, you know what? There's no thing in the Bible about priests not getting married. You're following this. And they'll say, well, you don't believe this and that. And they're like, well, you know what? Rosary beads are nowhere in the Bible, in the Christian Bible. They fight back and forth. Why not just accept one another? Say, okay, I agree to disagree. Let's get on with our lives and get along, man. It's not that hard to do, people. It's really not that hard to be a good person in this world. And there's people out there that are atheists. There are agnostics. And that's cool too. They can believe the way they want. Don't hate them. Don't preach to them. Don't persecute them. It's okay if you feel sorry for them because, your beliefs say one thing and you feel sorry that they're not going to go through that. But how do you know you're right? That's the thing. Nobody knows for sure that they're right. So stop. Stop hating other religions. Stop dividing yourselves amongst these people. Stop persecuting people because your religion dominates in the area you're in. I remember traveling on a bus, and again, going back to the religions that persecute a lot. I mean, they'll persecute you for some crazy stuff, and you're like, wow, I would not want to be a part of your religion if I was looking for one. So I was on a bus headed across country, and I ended up in Salt Lake City from San Francisco, and I had a couple-hour layover there. And I'm walking around the bus station, and I've been to Salt Lake City before. I've been to Utah before. Nice people, The Latter-day Saints are good people. Don't hate on them because there's nothing worth hating. They're good people. And if they think different than you, cool. They don't judge you. Don't judge them. So anyway, I'm in the terminal, and I'm walking around, and I see all these signs. And I've been to all these bus terminals throughout America. Usually it's somebody there hustling drugs or prostitutes or somebody's trying to hustle your money or, beg for your money. And I'm seeing all these little signs people put up. For a free hot meal, call us. Come over here. You can spend the night here. I mean, all these things. And I'm like, wow, that's weird. Free hot meal. Come stay for the night. Need a shower? Stop by. And I asked the guy that was working there. I said, hey, man, what's up with this? And he goes, now, back then they called Mormons. They don't like to be called that now. But he's like, oh, that's the Mormons, man. I was like, really? He's like, yeah. They're always like that. They're nice people. They're always opening up their homes for others. And he's like, that's what they're supposed to do. And he's like, I said, are you a Mormon? He's like, no, but, I live among them. I respect them. They respect my religion. And he's like, my religion preaches we're supposed to do this. And they actually do it. And I'm like, good for them. And I said, do they try to convert you or anything or try to preach to you? He goes, nope. He said, they might pray with you or pray for you, and that's okay. And I said, yeah, I can dig that. Nothing wrong with that. And I thought that was one of the coolest things ever. I mean, that was so many years ago, and I'll never forget that. And everywhere I went through Utah, everybody there was nice. Everybody there was nice and friendly. And I don't understand why someone would judge them. They're good people. Jehovah's Witnesses come up to me, and I always tell them, hey, this is what I am, and, good luck to you. And we'll have some good conversations. And they go about their way. And I hope that people treat them good, because I know they don't. Little friend of mine I know, she's in one of the worst places you can go for her mission trip. Oh, she's in the very depths of hell. She's in Las Vegas area. Oh, that poor girl. But seriously, well, I'm kind of serious. It's pretty harsh out there. And she's doing her mission trip. And that's good. The women don't have to do it. The boys do. But she volunteered to do this, and good for her. And I hear that she gets doors slammed in her face and people treat her really rude. People are mean to her, and they probably say bad things. And she's just a young girl. I think probably 19, 20 years old. Why would you do that? Why would you mess with somebody's psyche like that? That's traumatizing to her. That's not right. And she is a sweetheart, beautiful young lady inside and out. Sweetheart. So if somebody comes to your door, treat them with respect. Just say no thank you. Have a good day. Be safe. And close the door nicely. It's not that hard. And she's out there in Vegas. Woo! Hell on earth, man. I tell you what. Oh, man. I never liked that city. It was set up for money, gambling. They call it Sin City. I guess there's a reason for that. It's a good spot to send her. Hopefully it's going good for her and she's getting a few people. And it's really sad, though. That's not a nice thing to do. A young lady I know posted something the other day on Instagram, and she quoted the angel Moroni. And I said something to her, and I said, I'm not judging you. I just want to know, and I'm not going to pick on you for it. And she goes, oh, thank you so much. That means a lot to me. And that made me feel good, because why would I do that? But apparently people do. And she did say, yes, I'm a Latter-day Saint. I said, good for you. I'm different. She knows what I am. But, we're still friends. Still a good girl, still a nice kid. Nothing wrong with her. So people, quit dividing yourselves over the religions, man. There's over 4,000 recognized religions in the world. And there's about, well, nobody knows exactly how many gods are recognized, but there's almost 20,000 gods recognized throughout all kinds of faiths. I mean, the Hindus have a lot of gods. I have a little Hindu dude I know, good kid, and his grandmother teaches him stuff, and his mother is not Hindu. She's not from India, and she teaches him about all the gods over there. And whenever I see him, he's dressed up like a different god, and I'm like, oh, who's that? And he teaches me about it, and I love it. I love it. I think it's so cool. They're letting him be himself, and that's what we're supposed to be. And if he changes down the road and becomes an atheist or agnostic or Catholic, I mean, good. That's okay. He knows the heritage, and I don't think he will. I think he's going to, follow Hinduism, and good for him. And I think it's great, and I hope the other kids don't pick on him, because I don't like that stuff. You don't hurt a kid. You don't pick on a kid, and you definitely don't pick on them for religion or their faith or anything like that. That's not cool, man. Like I said, there's lots of religions in this world. We need to be united. We can't be divided over something silly as beliefs. And if you want to believe in a flying spaghetti monster, cool, so be it. You can go and worship that flying spaghetti monster all day long if you want to. But you're not hurting anybody. You're not stealing. You're not killing yourself or others. You're not being prejudiced against others. Believe what you want. That's what we have as human beings. We have the freedom. Freedom to believe what we want. And don't tell me yours is right and mine's wrong. Don't be preaching and saying these guys are a cult. We're the only correct religion, because that's not right, man. Because every one of the faiths and religions out there's got something somebody could poke a hole in there somewhere. But don't. Live and let live. Let people believe what they want. All right? It's peace and love. That's what we're here for. Do good unto others. That's what we're supposed to do. All right? Peace and love, everybody. Remember what I said, because it's the truth. All right? Unity is better than division.